Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Every human soul clings to the idea of being great and holds an inward jealousy towards those who appear to achieve success. However, success isn't always what it seems from the outside. With greatness comes blood, sweat, and tears, yes, but that's not all. The truly great often sacrifice pieces of their soul. Some are accused of being born without a soul entirely. But why is greatness so enticing? How can the pursuit of it cut at your very core for better or for worse? What would your life look like if you were to become great? Today, we are exploring the line between ambition and obsession. We're going to dissect this concept using the ambitions of Walter White, a man so consumed by greatness, he makes sacrifices that cast a permanent shadow over his heart and his family, never to be the same again, and in the end, no further ahead. To guide us, we will be drawing on the wisdom of Aristotle, one of history's greatest philosophers, to understand why balance, even in ambition, is essential. Walter White begins his story as an underpaid, overqualified high school chemistry teacher diagnosed with terminal cancer. Facing financial ruin, he turns to cooking methamphetamine to provide for his family. At first, his motives seem noble, but as the series unfolds, Walter's ambition spirals out of control, revealing a darker truth. He's not just doing this for his family, he's doing it for himself, for power, pride, and the allure of being the best. Walter's journey offers a gripping example of ambition untethered from moral balance. But how do we define that balance? According to Aristotle, a virtuous life lies in the golden mean, the sweet spot between two extremes. Courage, for instance, is the balance between cowardice and recklessness. Ambition, too, must tread this middle path, avoiding both complacency and destructive obsession. But Walter White ignores this wisdom. He begins with what Aristotle might call justified ambition, a desire to secure his family's future. Yet over time, his goals mutate into hubris, an overreaching pride that blinds him to the human cost of his actions. Walter crosses the line from striving for greatness to sacrificing everything in its name. But why is greatness so seductive? Psychology offers some answers. Achieving something monumental releases dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. It's intoxicating. And when ambition feeds on success, it creates a feedback loop. The more you achieve, the more you crave. Walter White's first successes, outsmarting dangerous rivals and earning respect, ignites this loop. But like an addiction, it's never enough. Unchecked ambition is also deeply tied to identity. For Walter, becoming Heisenberg, his criminal alter ego, represents a chance to shed his meek, overlooked self. The danger here, as Aristotle might warn, is losing sight of the original purpose. In chasing greatness, Walter forgets why he chose to make the sacrifices that have gotten him this far. Walter's story is a modern tragedy. The more he achieves, the more he sacrifices. His relationships crumble, innocent lives are lost. By the end, his empire, built on ambition, has consumed everything he once held dear. Aristotle's philosophy reminds us that such an outcome isn't inevitable. The pursuit of greatness doesn't have to destroy you, but it requires constant reflection. Are your goals aligned with your values? Are you staying true to the things that really matter? Walter stopped asking these questions the moment the subtle drug of greatness made its way into his soul. Aristotle's golden mean is not just a concept for ancient scholars. It's a guiding principle for anyone navigating the complexities of ambition. There's a profound difference between striving for excellence and succumbing to obsession. Success achieved without balance can unravel just as quickly as it's built. Walter's transformation into Heisenberg was not a single decision, but a series of small compromises. Each choice seemed justified at the time, one more risk, one more lie, one more sacrifice. But these incremental steps led him so far down, he no longer recognized himself. A shadow of the man he once was. This is the danger of neglecting balance. It happens gradually, often without us realizing it. Walter's story invites us to examine the relationship between ambition and identity. Aristotle believed that living a virtuous life requires understanding of your telos, your purpose. For Walter, his initial purpose was clear: to provide for his family before the cancer took his life. He was willing to do anything to give his wife and son a fighting chance after he died, but as his identity shifted towards Heisenberg, his telos became murky. He began to prioritize power and legacy over the well-being of his loved ones once he realized what he was truly capable of. This shift underscores a critical philosophical truth. Ambition must remain tethered to a higher purpose. When ambition becomes an end in itself, it loses meaning and moral grounding. The philosophical toll of Walter's ambition is another key lesson. Ambition, when unchecked, can lead to burnout, anxiety, and isolation. Walter's obsessive need to control every aspect of his empire alienates him from not just his family, but even his allies. His paranoia and mistrust grow as his power increases, leaving him isolated in a fortress of his own making. This is a universal danger. In our pursuit of greatness, we often sacrifice relationships, mental health, and inner peace. Aristotle's emphasis on balance encompasses not just achievements, but also well-being and meaningful connections. But enough about how greatness can destroy you. What about how it can revolutionize your life? Walter White is an example of what ambition can do when it is done for the wrong reasons. But what if he strove for greatness years before he even got cancer? Here's the thing. Walter wasn't happy with his life to begin with. He had settled for far less than he was capable of. His potential was undeniable, a brilliant chemist who once co-founded a groundbreaking company. Yet he allowed fear, complacency, and external pressures to steer him away from his dreams. Walter didn't fail because he lacked talent or intelligence. He failed because he ignored the call to greatness long before he ever became a ruthless manipulator and a killer. Imagine if Walter had embraced his potential earlier in life, driven not by pride or revenge, but by a desire to contribute something meaningful to the world. He could have revolutionized chemistry, mentored students, or built a legacy that inspired others. He might have found fulfillment not in amassing wealth or power, but in living a life aligned with his passions and values. Greatness, when pursued with integrity, can be transformative. It can lift you out of mediocrity, open doors you never thought possible, and give you a sense of purpose that makes life deeply satisfying. Ambition doesn't have to lead to destruction. It can be the spark that lights a fire under your butt and fuels your journey. But here's the catch. It's not just about the ambition itself, it's about the timing and motivation. Walter's spark emerged too late, fueled by desperation rather than inspiration. He chased greatness as a last resort, not a lifelong pursuit. If he had nurtured his goals earlier, he might have discovered a greatness that enriched his life instead of tearing it apart. This is a lesson we can all learn. Don't wait for a crisis to chase your dreams. Don't let fear of doubt keep you from striving for what you're capable of. Greatness, when pursued for the right reasons and with the right mindset, doesn't destroy you. It transforms you. It brings out the best version of yourself. So, what can we learn from Walter White's cautionary tale and Aristotle's wisdom? 1. Balance is key. Ambition can drive us to incredible heights, but it's a double-edged sword. Without balance, it can consume us. 2. Reflect on your why. Ambition should serve a purpose beyond ego or power. Regular self-reflection keeps your goals aligned with your values. 3. Recognize the cost. Every choice has consequences. Success achieved at the expense of relationships, integrity, or well-being may not be success at all. 4. Stay grounded in your identity. Remember your telos, your ultimate purpose. Let it guide your ambition rather than allowing ambition to redefine your purpose. And 5. Value the process. Ambition is not just about the destination, but also about the journey. Pursuing greatness with integrity and balance enriches both your achievements and your character. Walter White's story asks the question, how much are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? And Aristotle's philosophy gives us the answer. Sacrificing everything isn't greatness. It's obsession. The true price of greatness isn't how much you're willing to pay. It's about knowing why you're doing it and what your end goal is. If your answers are vain and shallow, then you are now aware that those will be the outcomes that follow. Do it for the right reasons, or don't do it at all. As Aristotle would remind us, a life of balance is the only life worth living. So, as you stand at your own crossroads, ask yourself, is your ambition driving you towards greatness or dragging you into obsession? The choice and its price are yours to decide. If Aristotle's concept resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into the fascinating world of philosophy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.